It is amazing how they are trying to massage the message, but is there a they? Is this president controllable in terms of message?
The messaging is a mess, as we saw from the interview last night, that he gave a completely different account than all of his press spokesmen and advisors who'd been trotted out in the aftermath of Comey's firing, saying that he alone took the decision, contradicting what had been the storyline in the days preceding, that actually it had been triggered by the memo by Rod Rosenstein. He took his advice, and that was why they decided to act when they did. So, I think there is, concern about the credibility of what is coming out of the White House. Do we believe what they say?
Just to add to that, the interim director of the FBI also indicating that morale at the FBI, not a problem.
No, fine. That actually Comey enjoyed wide support, and contrary to what the White House has said, that the Russia investigation was very small in the grand scheme of things. He said that it was a significant investigation, and they would be proceeding full steam ahead.
What will you think about into the weekend as you and the president and everyone else prepares for a battle on Monday on this? What is the event or the thrust that you care about?
Well, I think they need to get back on message, I think the main challenge ahead is to appoint a replacement for Comey.
That's topic number one on Monday.
Topic number one, and the names that are now in the mix are not household names. They're not the ones that had been floated previously. We thought maybe it would be Rudy Giuliani or Chris Christie. Those two are very divisive figures, unlikely to get wide support in Congress. And traditionally, FBI directors have received bipartisan support when they are appointed. And this is going to be, I think, an unusual case.
Guy, this is a critical distinction, much like judges. When a president appoints a Supreme Court judge, they really don't know what they're going to say. Granted, that's for life.
Yep.
But within this, for example, Mr. Mueller, who many would say was the most esteemed of our directors in the modern age, does a president in any way control an FBI director? I believe they don't.
Well, I think this is part of the problem, is that Trump may have misunderstood the relationship between the president and the FBI director, that from the 1970s, they were given a 10-year term as a measure to give them some degree of independence. And if you look at the New York Times story about today about Trump demanding loyalty from
versus
Comey,
honesty.
Versus honesty, which I think gets at the whole issue of maybe he misunderstood the very nature of the relationship constitutionally and legally.
He's learning on the job, right? The president is absolutely learning on the job. He's figuring stuff out as he goes along. What does that tell us about the rest of the term? Do you think he'll have it figured out by the end of it?
Well, let's hope he learns faster than he has learned so far. I think, he is obviously, learning on the job about these crucial constitutional relationships that are new to him.
To your good question, in my conversation yesterday with James Stavridis, the former NATO commander now at Tufts University, is he learning on the job about North Korea? I mean, the FBI, this is all fun and games and giggles. North Korea is not fun and games and giggles, right?
I think, if you ask John McCain that question, there are certain Republicans who think that actually Trump has appointed some really serious, well-respected national security experts. Mattis, these people are well-trusted on both sides of the aisle, and that should give people some measure of reassurance.
Maybe that's what he needs at FBI. He needs a General Mattis at FBI.
Right.
That would be one way to do it. This is extraordinary. I'm exhausted by it.